Hello guys, I'm back. I'm trying to do this shorter today, so hopefully it opens easier for you guys. So when you look on page 23, you're going to be able to look at your green packet of notes and figure out these questions because they're pretty basic. I'd rather go to page 24 and do a couple of the harder ones on that page with you so you understand where I got all those answers when you're looking at your notes on the rest of your notes. So let's talk about a few of these and we'll do just this page and see how it goes. Okay. So in this page, the problem is you got multiple right triangles put together. So you're going to have to do more than one Pythagorean theorem. So when you start looking at stuff, you have to say, okay, they want ultimately to know how far it is from here to here. Okay. But that's really made up of two triangles, one on the left and one on the right. Okay. So I'm going to have to do two Pythagorean theorems for this one. So, because this is a right triangle as well. So when I look at this right triangle on the left, we'll start with number one. If I go right across, 18 is C, okay? I don't know, now this one's not labeled, but this is how I know that's 16 because it's the same as this. So I know this is 16, I'll call this one A. And then what I don't know is this little half, which is what I'm gonna try to figure out with this. So I got enough to do one Pythagorean theorem here. So when I write down A squared plus B squared equals C squared, I can drop in 16 squared plus B squared equals 18 squared. So I know that that's 256, and if you don't use your calculator, figure it out. This is 324. I'm going to have to subtract those two. So B squared would equal, if I did that on my calculator, I'm going to have 324 minus 256, and I'm going to get 68, which is not a perfect square, so I'm going to have to round off my answer when I take the square root of 68. And I get 8.24. Okay, so 8.24 about. Okay. Now, then what I can do is I can say, okay, I got that part. I know that this is 8.2 from here to here. Let me switch colors. I have to do the other triangle. So in the other triangle, okay, it's a different C. C is now 20, right? But A can still be 16, so I got a different B that I need to find for this half of the triangle. And then I add it together. So I can do the same thing. I can say, okay, then it's 16 squared again, and it's B squared, but it's 20 squared this time. So it'd be 256 plus B squared equals 400. This time I have to take away 256 from 400, which actually is 144, which is a perfect square, so I don't need my calculator, because that would be 12. So then the answer to that side is 12. So the answer to x, which they ultimately want to know, would be to add those two numbers together and get an answer of 20.2 inches. So that's my ultimate answer there. So you have to be able to do that one. I'm going to leave this one for you to try. I'm going to try to do these last two with you just to save a little time. And then on the next page, 25, you should be able to figure out most of that on your own from what you see in the notes. All right, but this one sometimes confuses people because there's two triangles. There's actually three triangles here. There's the one at the bottom. There's the one up here, but that's not a right triangle. So that's why I'm not going to call that two. The other triangle is the entire huge thing put together. So it's this one would be your number two triangle. So anyway, I have to do, I want to line it for you so you can see. I have to, this whole thing is another right triangle. I'm going to have to do this triangle first, though, because I need x for the big triangle. So in that triangle, in that case, my right angle 7 would be my C. I could call that A, and I'll leave that to be B. So when I break it apart, it's A squared plus B squared equals C squared. 4 squared plus B squared, excuse me, is equal to C squared. Okay. And, I'm sorry, equal to 7 squared. And then 16 plus B squared equals 49. I can subtract 16. And then B squared would equal 33. And the square root of 33, I'm going to use my calculator for. And do square root 33 equals 5.7. I round it off. Okay, so nearest 10. So that actually is x. So x I know is 5.7 now equals x. So I got that part. But it also wants to know y. So y is part of the big triangle. So again, I've got a squared plus b squared equals c squared. But this time if I go across, y is actually c. So I'm not going to know what that is. I can put it in as y if I want. But, and I just figured out b would be 5.7 squared. Now a, be careful, a is the combination of all this. So a is actually 10 because you got 4 and 6. So 100 plus, that would turn out to be 33 equals y squared. 133 equals y squared. Take the square root of 133 using my calculator. Sorry guys, I got a frog in my throat. That's what happens when you don't talk to people all day. I miss being in the classroom. 11.5. And that would be inches. Okay. And I'll leave the last one to you guys. Again, I can show you where the triangles are, but I don't want to take up too much time on the video in case it doesn't load. So the key to this problem, I'll give you a hint, is since that's x, that's also x. All right. And your two right triangles would be this one. And you're going to have to get that first. And then you can do the whole big triangle after that. All right, to get that missing side. All right, good luck with that one. Look at the notes, and the rest of it you should be able to figure out. Okay, take care.